Hit record now.
Yeah, recording on Audacity.
Well done. You'll get there in the end, Mr. Narrator.
It doesn't bode well, does it?
So, Grace, you're off to a drum and bass night?
Yeah, why is that so surprising?
You've always struck me as more mosh pit of a person.
Yeah, I didn't think you were into catchy wobblers, honestly.
To clarify, I'm not calling you a human mosh pit. I'm saying that that's the kind of place you'd be more likely to be at.
Oh, I've never actually been to a drum and bass night before. So, like, I don't know what to expect. And then Nick was like, you'll need a bag. And I'm like, clarify.
Yeah.
I know I need, like, shades. I know I need to go to a dark room with strobes and put fucking shades on. But I don't know
Have you got
about
shades?
the bag. Yeah, I've got some shades. I've got shades.
Nice.
Okay, maybe don't go up to somebody at this drum and bass event and ask for a bag.
What the fuck do you mean?
Are you talking about ketamine, Nick?
I think I might be, yes.
Okay. Grace probably has a better idea of what we're talking about than we do, because we're both massive squares.
Yeah, ket or coke.
I mean, I thought you said I had to bring one, and I was just like, oh no,
Yeah.
I've got to find a random man. It's just like, yo, I need a gram.
I thought you meant literally bring a bag, like
Yeah, I was like,
handbag.
handbag, rucksack,
No, so
Pouch.
there's this.
on a stick.
I do work with a drum and bass enthusiast.
Okay.
Apparently, a bag is an essential equipment for a drum and bass night.
Right.
So, yeah, make of
Put
that.
all the drums in before you leave.
That's
yes,
it,
yeah.
yeah. All the drums and basses.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh no, Nick, you've misunderstood. It's a drum and bass night. You got to bring a fish.
Ah, I see.
Ah,
Yeah.
fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
drum and bass.
Sorry.
That's what you need the bag for.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, I've invented a new genre. Okay, picture the scene. There's a band. There's two people. You've got someone playing the drums, and someone is holding one of those talking fishes that you used to see everywhere in the early 2000s.
Oh, so saying don't worry, be happy, and then the drop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The big mouth Billy Bass. My grandpa
Yes.
had one.
We
It's
have
Drum and
one.
Billy Bass night.
We have one still.
Well, bring it to the.
Yeah, drum and bass.
Hold it up amongst the crowd. Be like, yeah.
I don't want to break it.
That's fair. I imagine they're hard to find now.
Yeah.
It's not mine. It's my brother's. So I don't think that'd be fair to
Yeah, don't
take
ruin
his
your brother's
bass
talking
to a-
fish.
to a fucking drum and bass night, only for some ketter to go and smash it.
Completely fair. Talking of things that are rare, shall we continue silently on the blink of orgasm?
I think we should continue silently on the blink of orgasm.
Yes. Be sure to mention it is blink and not brink. Ignore any past versions of us that may have said otherwise.
Yeah,
It's
for more
funny.
details, listen to last week.
In a recent
right?
comment, they called it brink as well. And I was like, see, you're
Yeah.
spreading bad rep.
We have spread
got it wrong.
misinformation. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we got some fan mail in. Is that the one you were on about, Grace?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, really like silently on the brink of orgasm. I looked
Let
at
me
it and I
pull
just
that
sort of
up.
blinked and I just went, oh no. It's
Yeah, we did this bit last week, I'm sure. I'm sure we did.
We've mentioned that we've got it wrong, but
And that we're idiots.
yeah. Yeah, they said brink instead. So, Lauren, listening in, apologies. We lied to you. It is, in fact, blink of orgasm. And also, thank you for the delightful fan mail. Okay, shall we carry on?
Yes, I think we
So,
should.
who can remember what... It feels like I'm doing a D&D session again. Who can remember what happened last time?
They went back to the Blitz of Woodstock, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Like Woodstock during the Blitz.
Flint
And the Shag the
Livingston.
Cyberman.
Yeah. The horrors
Multiple
of war.
Cybermen.
I think Flint Livingston got rid of someone and the doctor got rid of them. And then, oh god, it's been ages since I read it.
It has been a while since we sat down to record.
Mm.
But we're on chapter 7. Do you guys have it open? I can send it over if you like.
No,
Yes.
we don't.
Okay. If you check the pinned section on our Discord, as a reminder, we have a Discord if you'd like to come support the show and join us in there for all our weird shit talking and early access to our episodes. Feel
This
free
channel
to
doesn't
sign
have any
up.
pinned messages yet.
Check the... it's in Fix for part 2, I think.
Fix for 2-part episodes. Yeah, there's a green pinned. Here we go.
Yep.
Right.
And then you want to go to Chapter 7, Our Come Asylum.
Our Come Asylum. There it is.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
I'll send you a message. Or I'll just post it again.
I thought it was in Fix for 2-part episodes.
It is.
Well, I'm on it.
It's right at the bottom now. I'll post it again.
Alright, well, I clicked on the pinned messages and it's like, there's nothing here. And oh, now there is. Fuck's sake.
Grace and technology. Name a greater rivalry.
Jokes on technology because I've got a baseball bat.
Shipping Grace, inventor of the Rage Cage. Hang on a minute. Just hang on a fucking minute just before we start. Right.
Yep.
So does this mean that when Grace has had problems with her audio equipment, she's just been
no fucking wonder nothing works.
She's just been swinging a bat at it.
I find that my microwave makes a funny noise, and then if I slap the side of it, the noise stops.
Oh no!
One day, the fans are just going to be irradiated, and everyone's going to ask, "What happened? What could possibly cause a nuclear blast in the middle of Cambridgeshire?" It's going to be Grace.
Yeah.
And yet I will be walking out of the vaporized ionized glow, and I'll be like, "Fuck me, that thing's shit. I'm going to need to buy a new one." Yeah. I'll get on with my day.
There is, honestly, there is going to be, you're going to take a swing at your smoke alarm, which has been beeping for far too long. It's going to land in the remains of your microwave, and against all the odds, critical mass will happen, and the fens will explode.
Thanks.
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay.
So, Nick, I take it you want to keep narrating?
Yep, I do.
Grace, are you happy to play our lead role, Amelia-Rose?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
We can swap if you want.
Hang on, I'm just getting to the right chapter. Yeah, I found it, okay.
Then I will continue playing the Doctor and any monsters that come up.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get straight to the biscuits. Chapter 7.
Chapter 7, Our Come Asylum. Dr. Tennant and I start to run with all the urgency of a teenager reaching for the morning after pill. Beautiful.
Okay, Nick. This next sentence ends with 3 exclamation marks, and I want to hear all 3.
Okay. We have to find...
I like it when he clips out. The microphone just can't handle it. It's like, oh.
I hope our recording picked that up, but on Discord, Nick just... What's your face? He just phased off his system.
He just clipped out.
I'm pretty sure that my backup picked that up, but I'm kind of disappointed that we don't record off the actual Discord because I wanted to hear what that sounded like.
I will, if I can replicate, if the Audacity didn't pick it up, I'll try and replicate that sound.
Yes.
That was amazing.
James,
sorry, carry on.
James,
Okay.
if you try screaming into the microphone, maybe you'll do the same thing.
Okay, let me have a go.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
We have to find Ryan!
No, it didn't.
No, he didn't do
It
it.
didn't. It must just be me.
That's a shame. Okay.
It's the narration voice, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The power of narration.
I won't rest until my gay BFF and I are reunited. I think fondly of all the good times we had, and I dampen from my eyes.
Aha.
As if
Don't
to compensate, my loins grow dry.
Definitely don't drink. Quickly, we have to find Ryan.
So you keep saying, but you haven't told me about him.
I screech to a halt, my thigh-high boots scraping along the ground. My God, he's right. How could I have overlooked something so important when I am so blessed with brains?
Oh, Dr. Tennant, he's simply marvellous. He has a towering frame, an imposing voice. He glides around effortlessly, and his head spins in a magnificent circle. I see lights flash whenever he speaks. And he's so sweet. He always watches me undress just to make sure I'm safe. It's such a shame he's gay. But I'm worried I may have spoiled everything by taking advantage of him so intensively. I didn't read that right. Insensitively.
Oh, I don't know. Of course.
Oh, fucking hell. How was I supposed to know? I can't read.
None of us can.
None of us can. As I cry, majestic tears rolling down my rosy cheeks, an image of him flashes into my mind. Of course, how could I forget my post-coital telepathic link?
Of course.
I think that's a Deus Ex Machina, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
This is Tennant-era Doctor Who, after all.
Bingo.
Fuck's sake.
Grace, this is you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Doctor.
I cry. I cry excitedly.
Oh, sorry. Doctor!
I cry excitedly.
I know where he is. Grab my hand.
Dr. Tennant reaches out and takes my hand trustingly. As I close my eyes and begin to focus on the faint image of Ryan in my mind, I feel a second hand, this one with the texture of an eraser, on my arm. Before I can process this thought, I vanish with a loud flash and find myself immediately in an asylum of some kind, surrounded by Ryans of several colours. It must be a Ryan asylum. Sapped of my sexual energy, I collapse to the floor.
Hang on. Was she just so horny they teleported across time and space?
I think it was.
Wow.
Well, no, she wasn't. She dried up. But
no, there's law. There's law. Keep reading.
Okay.
Sapped of my sexual energy, I collapse to the floor, gasping and reaching desperately into my underwear. I need to achieve orgasm soon or all will be lost. I see.
Of course. Thanks for clarifying.
I paw ineffectively at my nether curls, but it is no use, and I feel my consciousness fade. Just as everything goes black, those delightfully slimy, rubbery hands begin to roam my smooth, buxom figure, lifting my skirt and removing my delicate thong, inserting his eel. The orgasm reinvigorates me instantly, and I sit up, riding him like an 8-year-old girl on a pony.
Oh.
I'm
not on board with that metaphor.
No. I moan, orgasm after orgasm crashing over me as I beg him to fill me with his slime. He complies in short time, his mucilence seeping from my virgin love cavern and trickling down my porcelain legs.
Daleks.
Dr. Tennant exclaims, whipping out his sonic screwdriver while restricting himself to a single entendre. That's a fucking cracking line, that.
Yeah.
What on earth? Dr. Tennant, no, they're Ryans.
I run towards the closest Ryan, beautiful in his shiny gold case. Ryan turns to face me, his gunstick creaking upward, as I leap into the spot where his arms should be, wrapping my arms around his neck. He clatters to the floor with a hoarse, croaking cry.
Ryan, I miss the way you fell to the floor like that.
I lightly pat his collar, and a few flakes of rust come loose. I can smell the acrid tang of long-dried bodily fluids and acidic feeding substances, and that is the smell of friendship.
What's my page? Power reserves are insufficient. I cannot stand now that you have toppled me. I will most likely die here.
Yay!
I beam, carefully placing the fedora onto his dome.
I'm so glad you're safe.
But suddenly, the fedora slides off his crooked dome and lands on the dusty floor. I stare, trembling for a long, long time, before I can begin myself to utter a tiny, trembling proclamation.
You're not Ryan.
I stagger to my feet. Sadness tears into me like a hungry teeth into a chimichanga. I realize that I'm surrounded by Ryans, a dusty-looking silver Ryan with blue balls running along his chassis. a white and gold Ryan that might also be blue and
for
black.
Fuck's sake.
It's that dress again.
Oh, no.
Well played.
In fact, lots of those. More gold Ryans, a special weapons Ryan of some kind, exposing his fabulously swollen energy weapon for the world to see. Also that one. How do I... I see. How do I tell them apart? My brain feels like it's hurting. My gaze whirls from Ryan to Ryan to Ryan, and I frantically try to think of a plan, just like Dr. Tennant would have done if he were here. What do I remember about Ryan? I remember how he used to look me in the eye. I remember how he used to look me in the nipples. I remember the gentle touch of his plunger massaging my chest-mounted milk hills. I was doing so well. I remember, of course. That's it. I know what his plunger feels like. I know the feel of his vibrating, skull-crushing rubber cup above all others. And that means...
I'm going to have sex with them.
Of course.
Sorry, I'm going to have sex with them.
Oh, have to
Oh,
have.
fuck's sake. I've only got to start reading
It's fine.
these.
It's just to clarify that all...
Determinedly, I grab the edges of my shirt and tear it off down the middle, exposing my lower skin and fleshy bits layer to the world, like Superman, if on the planet the S stood for breasts. I hesitate for a moment as I think of Flint, but I must do this. Even though I am a virgin, I will sacrifice my delicate flower for my one, my only, gay bay Ryan. I thrust my chest into the plunger of the nearest Ryan, my mounds filling his sucking rubbery slurp machine. But it's not right. My Ryan's feels much softer and gentler. As I approach a blue Dalek, I notice a red ring on my lady pillow. I ignore it, instead continuing with my noble mission, and rest my spongy love mountain onto the blue Ryan's plunger. It gently massages me, but it's not right.
Is she colourblind?
Yeah,
Yes.
Ryan is yellow.
Yeah,
we know...
just look
Why
for
is
the
she
yellow
testing
Dalek.
the blue ones? Oh.
It gently massages me, but it's not right. My Ryan's plunger is much firmer, and his action more vigorous, like the fucking he gave me that time. I detach myself and notice an orange ring on my fun bag. I dribble. I run into the sucker of love and of a black of there. This fic really does things to your brain.
I think that's our review. This fic does things.
Yeah. I run into the sucker of love of a black and silver Ryan, and it croaks an orgasmian rhapsody as its voice bubbles with delight, just like the thick green alien semen glowing with the radiated light that drools down its battered, lumpy chassis. You get to do this, Jim.
No pressure. Is this the real life? Is this my orgasm? Brought to my climax in a wonderful love spasm. Open my cloaca, remove my flesh poker, and see. Mama.
God's sake.
I'd like to apologise to Freddie Mercury and
It started off as Dalek singing Bohemian Rhapsody. It kind of ended as somebody doing an impression of David Bowie doing an impression of Freddie Mercury singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'll take it.
Okay. This seems like sound and logical advice. I follow it. Reaching past the Dalek's love folds into the warm, musty depths of its cloaca, and massaging the thick and twitching clusters of tentacles that lovingly grope my throat. I draw out a long and thick appendage that blooms like a flower, revealing a veiny, pulsating head beneath, and a radiated eye, yellow and cloudy, seems to be embedded in its tip, a tiny deformity of radiation poisoning that squints in the harsh daylight. I stroke the Dalek shaft lovingly, and it weeps misty tears of joy, a special little lake of mutations pooling at its base just for me.
Enough. It is my... I was trying to figure out, is this supposed to be sung still to Bohemian Rhapsody? I don't know.
I
Probably
don't
not.
think it is. I don't
Cool.
think it is.
Enough. It is my time now. Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah.
The voice of the special weapons Ryan booms as dominant as an alpha wolf with 7 knots in his penis.
Oh.
In brackets, we'll get to that kink later, promise. XOXO. Well, I guess we've got that to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
It rolls forward, energy crackling from the tip of its gun, just like a tank that wants to have sex with me. Special weapons Ryan is very big, 30.5 feet, which juts from the centre of his mass, rumbling and vibrating with mechanically enhanced lust. Gulping, staring at the 3 patches of rainbow, orange, yellow, and blue that pepper my breasts, I bite my lip and groan as he enters my widening love chasm, forcing its edges to their absolute limits, sending convulsing stabs of pain and pleasure through the ballooning borders of my tortured flesh. It's worth it, though, for Ryan. Aggressively snarling, he lurches forward again and again. I moan, voice flanged with lust, and a quiver of sheer sex-magical brilliance roars its way up my spine. I can feel his weapon brushing sexily against my hip bones, forcing them wider, and the black jungle of matted hair that surrounds my depths crackles with static charge, curling happily at the edges.
I don't think hip bones are supposed to widen.
No, I'm pretty sure that your pelvis is one unit, and there's a limit.
Static charge.
There sure is a unit involved in this.
Yes, there is. Grace, it's your line.
Yeah.
I know. It's just.
That's fair.
Hang on. Oh yes.
Flawless.
That is the most realistic orgasm I've ever heard on this show.
Oh, shut up. Fuck's sake.
I orgasm, and he also has an orgasm at roughly the same time. His voice booms and trembles of aftershock, loving rattle down his form with every syllable. A single tentacle emerges from a crack in the sides of his armour, and roughly smears a green circle on my orb of attraction next to the patches of colour I'd managed to accumulate beforehand.
You have served your purpose. Proceed or be exterminated.
I bite my lip. Bad boys make me so hot. Winking sexually, I spin on my heel and walk away. Well, at least something good came of this. But one of them's missing. None of those Ryans were my Ryan. An image of him flashes into my mind again. He's with another Ryan, but this one looks like a lady Ryan. I'm so jealous that he's got a new BFF. I thought our friendship was special. I run into the room where I know he is, only to find him with his plunger all over her gold and silver orbs.
Oh, Oswald.
Ryan moans.
Your bumps feel so good.
Okay, so it looks like Ryan's dug himself out of the friend zone.
I think he's shagging the Clara Dalek.
He is shagging the Clara Dalek, yes. Oh dear.
This is going to be tough.
Yep. Their eye stalks bump happily against each other, chaste and loving. Tiny sparks buzz like the beginnings of a static charge as they tap again and again, like gentle kisses to a lover's eyelids. Involuntary sighs, each accompanied by a little flash of light from their domes, float through the long abandoned halls like drunk flies. Staring into her eye stalk, Ryan delicately screeches.
Your eye stalk is so beautiful. Its blueness is like a sapphire pool. Grace, I take it you don't want to play Clara Dalek.
I don't think I could do it justice.
Being as someone who dislikes both Daleks and Clara, I assumed that was just a no-no for you.
I'll do it if I have to.
It's fine, I think I can do it.
I mean, I could do it if you wanted.
And the yellowness of your frame is beautiful, like the midday sun, Ryan. Was that distinct enough?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. My romantic attraction levels have reached maximum capacity. Records indicate you are the absolute greatest. My love is like a red, red rose, and you will not... And what? And you will not be destroyed.
I do like this bit, because if there's an entire chapter with these two, it'll just be Jim talking to himself.
Oh, God.
I glower jealously. That bitch turned my gay friend straight. I kick her really, really hard. A panel falls from her metallic figure, and a woman crawls out wearing a slinky red dress. Her hair is the colour of chocolate, her skin immaculately smooth and pale. A smile spreads across her adorable round face, her deep, shiny brown eyes lighting up like a sky full of stars. My God, she's beautiful. I dribble, and it doesn't stop. Take a drink.
I'm going to. I need one. Thank you.
She ejaculates.
You saved me. Even the doctor couldn't do that. As is standard in the damsel in distress genre, we must have sex now.
I have a question, James. Is this how you think she sounds in your head?
You may have noticed, Chris, I have a very deep voice, and it is hard to play Clara.
Your one true love. Oh, I said... Go on. Oh.
I say jealously, still dribbling.
Okay.
She turns around and I unzip her dress. It falls to the floor, leaving her in some kind of underwear that is sexy but not too revealing. Alternatively, if you have a fetish for a certain type of undergarment, insert it here. You heard it here first, readers.
Nice.
I reciprocate by removing my own clothing down to my underwear, but my constant dribbling has corroded away my underwear, leaving me naked apart from my huge bra.
Is that possible?
I don't think it is.
I'm not sure either.
No, I don't think it is. I hate my body. I feel so inadequate next to such magnificence.
Take me, Amelia-Rose.
Oswald.
How does she know her name? What?
Yeah, how does she know her name?
Yeah. Oh, no, it comes up.
Oh, right,
it comes
yeah,
up.
okay, sorry.
Oswald demands in a low, sexy voice.
Ryan has told me so much of your talents, and I wish to feel you touch my bathing suit regions.
I reach around her back and unclasp her brassiere, freeing her magnificent breasts from their prison, her hazelnut nipples hardening in the cool air of the Ryan asylum. Speaking of Ryan, he appears to be undergoing some unusual motions in the corner of the room, strange sounds emanating from his interior. I lean towards her breasts, reaching out a desperate tongue to make gentle, jealous contact with her perfect knobs. I must teach her a lesson through the medium of erotic pleasure. Fuck's sake.
The only way I know how.
The only way I know how.
You know what? No, this is like Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Is it?
Oh,
Wherever they go,
card.
yeah, all problems are solved with a card game.
Yeah,
it's just like that. But it's
sexy
all problems
Yu-Gi-Oh.
can be solved with bagging.
It is just sexy Yu-Gi-Oh, this.
This is the sexiest version of Yu-Gi-Oh.
She arches her back against my gentle contact, her eyes begging for more. I oblige, removing my own bra and straightening so that my powder-pink nipples lightly brush hers, feeling her vibrate with pleasure at the touch, a sigh parting her soft pink lips into a delectable pout. Unable to take it for a second longer, I push her underwear down her long, feminine legs, revealing her neatly trimmed tuft of light brown lady lawn. Pushing her back against Ryan, her pert buttocks pressing into his cold metallic exterior, I began to kiss her smooth, flawless skin jealously, my mouth wandering over every inch of her. I move lower, my kisses becoming more feverish and desperate as I move down over her soft lumps and curves, past her still hard nipples and down her flat, toned stomach, along the V-shape between her torso and her legs, teasing her with the thought of my tongue in her most intimate place, but pulling away to kiss my way up the inside of her toned calves and sleek thighs. This is a run-on sentence, isn't it?
It really... Yep.
Slowing my pace as I get closer and closer to the holy grail between her legs, as desperate for my tongue as I am to taste her juices. She reaches her arms overhead to grip onto Ryan's metal dome as I lap at her wet folds, my tongue making tiny circles on her swollen nub of love. She moans out in pleasure, throwing her head back and letting primal sounds escape from her delicate throat.
Amelia-Rose.
She moans.
Oh, my stars, please, please don't stop.
I fucking hate this podcast.
This is up there on the list of weird shit that I've done. With a smirk, I use my tongue to push her over the edge, bringing her wave after wave of bliss and reducing her petite frame to a shuddering mess of delight. She pants as she slides down Ryan's side, and her round buttocks touch the cold metal of the floor, catching her breath for long enough to give me a sexy smile. Ryan's lights flash, his eye stalk pumping.
What was it you said about weird lines that are going to be hard to read?
Go on.
Ejaculate! Ejaculate! Ejaculate!
I wonder what he's thinking about.
I shrug, turning to my new les BFF with bright TARDIS blue eyes.
Her eyes are brown.
What will you do now, Oswald Dalek?
Well, my name is Oswald Human now.
Because of course it is. Oswald smiles, resting her hand on my shoulder.
And we have to go find Flint, remember? Who I also know
about.
Sounds good.
Coital energies flow down to my bones as a direct result of my boning, and I take Oswald's hand in mine. Ryan rolls forwards and joins our embrace before we've warped sexually into the unknown. I am no longer a virgin.
Hey!
I have finally mushed my snuggle parts against another human being, and I have boldly come where I have never come before. I'm just going to put my hand down.
Why was your hand up?
I was doing the whole sort of like Shatner thing, you know, where he reaches his hand out when delivering
I don't think he ever does that.
particularly epic lines. But anyway, I'm doing the whole Shakespearean thing.
Oh, when
Yeah.
he hams it. Yeah, I know what you mean now.
That's it. Dr. Tennant sprints around the corner with wide eyes, the barrel of his sonic AK-47 smoking from fresh headshots. Just as we warp away and spray light all over the place, he stops, staring, and looks into the absence where the me should be with unbelieving confusion.
Oh, what the Alons? Fuck! Dun 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we cut away.
And that's the end of the chapter.
That was the end of the chapter. That was a fucking experience.
It always is a fucking experience. Doing this.
I'm going to be in the club thinking of this chapter, just looking off while everyone's moshing, and I'm just like...
Thinking of my Clara impression, just in there.
Just awful.
How
God.
dare you? I put a lot of heart into that.
Yeah, I know. It's still bad.
Okay, chapter 8 is quite short. Shall we power through?
Yeah, we can do, I
Okay.
suppose. We can do like a bonusly long episode, if you know what I mean.
So, chapter 8 is called Sweet Sugar Candyman. Now, I know nothing about the Candyman. However, I do know he is in the next Doctor Who setup, the 60th anniversary.
Okay.
He is involved with that. We haven't seen that yet if you're listening to us in the future, so we're just going to wing it in however he's... Drop my phone there. However he's portrayed.
Okay. So, yeah, let's do it, I guess.
Okay.
Chapter 8, Sweet Sugar Candyman. We've warped to Terra Alpha's candy kitchen. I know this as soon as we arrive due to my post-coital hyper-knowledge of all things. Hang on a minute, this is post-nut clarity, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, that is post-nut
that.
clarity. It's like a superpower version of post-nut clarity where you just understand all things.
Post-nut omni-clarity.
Yes,
Yeah.
post-nut omni-clarity.
That's a cool power.
It is, yeah, it is. For some reason, I am overcome by sadness and grief at the loss of my Flint. Oh, Flint, how I miss his stoicness and his chiseled features, his stony gaze and rock-hard abs. I leak as I think of him, from both my eyes and my loins. His abs aren't the only rock-hard part of him, if you know what I mean. I run into Clara's arms, burying my face in her perfect shoulder, crying onto her cardigan.
Oh,
I
Clara.
weep.
I miss my Flint so much.
I know.
She replies, patting me on the back.
We all miss him.
I can't believe he would ever accuse me of cheating on him. I would never do anything like that to him, for I love him so.
Ryan makes a noise that sounds suspiciously like a cough or a snort of derision.
I can't do that as a Dalek.
That's fine.
You can do so much better than him, Amelia-Rose.
Clara reassures me.
You're simply perfect in every way.
Oh, Clara, I'm so glad I found you. With you to love me and the support of Ryan as my gay BFF, I have everything I need right here. Yet there is still this flint-shaped hole in my heart.
My tears do not stop. As I cry, a creature suspiciously resembling Bertie Bassett enters the room. That's going to have to go in the art, I think.
Oh, God, it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Deal. Sadness is forbidden.
The Candyman intones in his high-pitched, childlike voice.
You must be executed.
I'm guessing this is going to be explained in the 60th anniversary special.
So he's being played by, oh God, I've forgotten his name. Big name actor.
Okay.
He was in How I Met Your Mother.
Neil Patrick Harris?
I've never seen it.
Yes, Neil Patrick Harris.
How did you forget who Neil Patrick Harris is?
I know who he is, I just forgot his name.
I'm going to say, you introduced me to Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember every name.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes,
yes.
I guess.
Yes, we will. I'm startled by his sudden appearance and confused by how his creator got away with infringing on the copyright of the famous confectionery mascots. But there's no time for that now. I can see him preparing his fondant surprise. Taking aim, he fires his warm, thick, sticky fluid at me. I close my eyes, but taste only the first few drops of vanilla on my waiting tongue. The pleasure washes over me. It's so wrong, but yet so right. But the warmth and flavour are cruelly ripped away after the first few delectable drops, and I remain alive. Opening my eyes, I see Ryan's dome coated in the Candyman's delicious fondant surprise, freezing him in place and filling up all of his orifices.
No! Ryan!
I cry.
Drat!
The Candyman exclaims.
I must prepare more fondant surprise for your execution.
He turns away to cook up another batch. Clara and I look into each other's eyes, and an idea flashes into my mind.
We need some kind of sticky liquid.
Lemonade!
She exclaims, her beautiful round face lighting up adorably with pride and excitement at her idea. She's amazing, and I'm so lucky to have found her. I feel that soon all thoughts of Flint may be extinguished from my mind, replaced with the light of her undying love. We're just friends, though. As Clara runs off to find many gallons of lemonade, I watch her swaying bottom and cream.
It's just like being back in the Stephen Moffat era.
Is it?
It's like, yeah, just hyper-focusing on Clara being the Mary Sue that solves every problem. Also with her having a nice butt.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on to you, Tim. You are Stephen Moffat, don't lie.
This is Stephen Moffat's AO3 account.
I am convinced of that now.
Yeah. It's like, in fact, this might just be the first draft of all his seasons, but the BBC was like, nah, sorry, mate, you're going to have to turn
He sent this in, and Russell T. Davis was like, no, mate.
Yeah, it's a family show, come on.
I really like the idea that he's handwritten everything. They sent it to the BBC, and they're like, yeah, we can't go through with this, so he just puts it all up on That's why they don't leak the script, because the original script is just pants, and then everyone's like trying to change it, make it...
Ooh. I do have some Doctor Who trivia.
TV.
Okay.
Apparently. So for the 50th anniversary, none of the actual Doctors were on contract, because Matt Smith's had just run out.
Right, okay. Right?
So Stephen Moffat had an emergency script of, what if we don't get any Doctors in? And it's, like, Clara-focused for the 50th anniversary.
Oh, because of course it is.
Oh, Christ.
Well, yeah, 'cause she's the only actor they had, to be fair. Just on the off chance Matt Smith got a better job and David Tennant was busy and etc., they were just like, okay, emergency, if no one else is here, here's my Clara script. And I think this is it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go.
We've cracked it.
Yeah, we have.
Anyway, where were we?
Something in the corner of my vision catches my eye. He is there. Roger stands tall and ready, his beautiful grey skin standing out amongst the crazy colour of the candy kitchen. My heart melts like a fudgesicle. How could I have forgotten him? Afraid that I might die a horrible, strawberry delicious death, I rush at Roger and throw myself into his waiting arms.
Oh, Roger, you have to save me. We need something sticky to kill the Candyman, or else he'll pleasure me to death.
I'm the only one allowed to do that.
He gargles.
Oh, Christ.
Never fear, my sweet slug. I will save you.
My sweet slug.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Clutching me with his spongy hands, he captures my mouth in a sudden kiss. I swoon against him as he begins to unbutton my shirt. All thoughts of a sugary death as forgotten as Roger was to be a few seconds prior. Erasmus escapes from my cleavage as he tears open my bra and Roger's pouting mouth engulfs my nipple.
You are amazing.
He rasps.
But I fear we need something a little more unusual to save you.
Sorry, just every time you do that fucking voice, it activates my fight or flight response.
Thank you.
It's just strange. The strangeness is, yeah.
I can take off the fluffy bit on my microphone if you want, make it the full ASMR experience.
No, please.
No, thanks.
Don't. Like, I get this.
I like taking my earphones off and giving it to my cat, who then just recoils.
Honestly, I get
You
this.
make Pepper listen to me do the silence voice.
I want her to hate you after you bribed her with treats.
Oh, okay. Fair.
I get this cold feeling down the back of my neck. It is like somebody has cracked an egg on my head. And it's running down the back of my neck. But anyway.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Okay. Before I can...
That defeated.
Yes.
Okay.
I can tone it down if you want.
It's fine. It's awful, but that's what we do
Yeah,
here.
I think you should keep going for comedy value. To be fair,
I mean, it's an authentic impression
Yeah.
of what the silents sound like.
it is not.
We're here to make people cringe, not enjoy themselves.
Okay, I like to think people have both, but carry on.
Before I can ask what he means, he whips out a strawberry lace and snaps it suggestively. I watch as he takes the slightly sticky rope and loops it around my wrist, securing it to a taffy puller. He does the same with my other wrist and both my ankles, so I'm splayed out, completely at his mercy. Smirking, he adjusts his tie before reaching behind me and grabbing a pot of hot caramel.
What are you going to do with that?
I gasp. I have never creamed more. He raises one hairless eyebrow and starts pouring the hot caramel on my lady lips.
Ooh.
Don't... I mean, wax and stuff, but, like, I'm not sure...
Yeah, caramel will be sticky.
Yeah, caramel will be sticky, and I think it carries heat better than wax. Like, wax, it lands on you, it dries, the heat's gone. But, like, caramel... Don't do this. Please don't do this. Hot waves of gooey delight ooze through me, and I feel the first burning wave of an orgasm. All of a sudden, I'm halted by a new wondrous sensation. I glance down to see Roger spooning scoops of vanilla ice cream, filling me with its icy goodness. The combination is too much. By the time his slippery eel enters me, I'm already ice creaming with euphoria. He mixes my lemon pie with love and makes the world taste good.
I think you meant to sing that bit. It's the Candyman.
Candyman can, cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. As if that film wasn't traumatic enough.
Yeah.
It's only right that it appears in here.
I feel him shudder and suddenly he erupts, sprinkling me with dew as he withdraws. Collecting up his cream, he throws it at the Candyman.
Curses!
The Candyman cries, screaming as Roger's muculent love splatters his sugar-coated skin. He begins to melt instantly, the sticky fluid gluing his feet to the floor and dissolving him down to nothing more than circuits. My TARDIS blue eyes fill with joy, and I rush to thank Roger, only to realize that I'm still at his mercy. He finishes doing a tasty volcano impression and turns back to me.
I'm not finished with you yet.
He grins, producing a licorice whip. Before he can take me to a new realm of pleasure, Clara comes racing back in.
I've got them. Oh dear God!
Roger drops the whip and runs away. I forget him.
Oh, Amelia-Rose, you did this for me. What a sweet surprise.
Oh, yes, I must have done, I suppose.
I reply, confused about why I'm tied up with ice cream in my vagina.
Who hasn't felt that way?
If we ever get enough clips together to do a soundboard, I want that on it.
What, ice cream?
Yes.
Fair. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Well,
Clara says, a sexy glint in her eye.
We'd better make the most of it.
Picking up the licorice whip, she takes her place behind me, readying the whip. She whips me and I cream. She strikes again, pain mingling with pleasure with every lash.
Oh, Clara.
I cry out as she whips me.
Oh, God.
You can do it.
Oh, God, I've been a bad girl. Please, please, don't stop. Punish me, Clara. Punish me hard.
You did well just getting through it.
And there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, goes the last of Grace's dignity.
Mm-hmm.
Sanity went ages ago.
After a few teasing lashes, she drops the whip and brings her head between my legs, her tongue straining to taste the cold, vanilla-flavoured goodness nestled in my dark, womanly curls. As she laps at the inexplicably slimy ice cream, slurping up every last drop of the soft, half-melted dessert, we both moan in pleasure. Her tongue goes searching in the icy gloop for my hidden cherry of delight, and I gasp as she finds it. It doesn't take long for the sensation of her mouth on my cold, pulsing nubbin to give me the orgasm I so desperately crave. I cry out, thrashing against the strawberry laces holding me upright. Clara releases me, her job done, and I make a mental note to repay her. And I'm, for fuck's sake.
You can do it. Home stretch.
And I make a mental note to repay her for the wonderful pleasure she gave me.
We need to save Ryan.
I exclaim as soon as the breath returns to my lungs.
We have to lick off the fondant surprise.
Yes.
Clara agrees.
But I don't want to get my clothes all sticky. I'll have to take them off.
She sensually unbuttons her cardigan, letting it fall, and the rest of her clothes follow, exposing once again the body I cannot resist. I cream again. Smiling, she gets down on her hands and knees beside Ryan's fondanty form and begins to lick. I do the same, and feel him begin to vibrate against my tongue. As the fondant is slowly cleared, the vibrations intensify and a purring sound begins to emanate from his dome. His lights flashing as we lick.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
I say between licks.
You must hate this, being licked by two naked women, being gay and all. I'm sorry.
Ryan is having the time of his life.
He is. He absolutely is. His eye stalk rises and the purring becomes even louder. His distress is clear, but we finish the job as quickly as possible, clearing the fondant from the surface of his metallic shell. But the fondant surprise filling his vital orifices will be much more difficult to remove. That's a job for another day. We gather together in a hug before warping off for more sexy adventures. Elsewhere, a figure in the shadows laughs evilly.
Soon.
And that's the end of the chapter.
That is the end of the chapter.
And the end of our sanity as we know it.
Yeah. We were planning to take a break from Silently on the Blink of Orgasm anyway, but crikey, that was that's a hell of a place to stop.
Yeah, that was a hell of a farewell.
It's not a proper farewell. We will be back soon. Eventually. We've been given some requests for some other fics, and we're going to take a look at those in the meantime.
Yep.
Have you guys enjoyed Silently on the Blink of Orgasm so far?
It's been a wild ride.
It sure has.
Oh.
We are at the halfway point at this point.
Halfway?
We're halfway there.
Only half?
Whoa. Yeah. That was chapter 8. There are 16 chapters.
Is it finished yet?
Oh, yeah, it's been finished for a couple of years.
Okay, so when you're, reading this fic, as I have been, because I've been narrating it, Like, sometimes you read some of it and your brain just stops working.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're just reading and your brain's just like, nah, fuck this, mate, and just fucks off to another dimension for a bit. And, like, leaves you...
I begin to disassociate in the middle of a sentence.
That's it,
well.
like, leaving you just swinging in the wind.
Oh my God, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A compliment.
Thank you, the almighty Tim, for letting us read this. I've been having a blast.
I know, I'm not sure I've read anything that's as discombobulating as this.
Yes.
So...
Ooh, well done using that in a sentence.
I know. I'm quite proud of myself.
Incidentally, before we go, I would like to clarify I'm full of shit. Neil Patrick Harris, I'm pretty sure, is actually playing the Celestial Toymaker and not the Candyman.
Oh,
I have misremembered that. So, just getting my facts in before... Let me just double-check that. I know he's playing someone who's sort of manipulating.
Thanks to our Doctor Who lore expert, James.
Thank you. None of this is in the Doctor Who lore. It hasn't actually been officially revealed, but it sounds like most speculation is Celestial Toymaker, by the looks of things. Not the Candyman. I've confused those two because I've not actually watched much of the classic series. I'm a hipster. I got in after it was cool.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen a picture of Neil Patrick Harris in a top hat looking broody and mysterious. So
he's definitely in it, for sure.
Who do we think the evil voice is?
I think it's going to be the Master.
I think it's going to be the Master. And
this is pre-Missy, so it'll be a male Master.
It will be.
Possibly.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be John Sim.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out.
Yes.
God.
But yeah, we'll come back to this eventually. In the meantime, join us in 2 weeks for a completely different thing that will be a surprise. And if you're enjoying the show, let us know.
Yes, especially if you want us to continue with this once we've had a short break away from
Oh, for sure.
Blink of Orgasm.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah. Our egos are fragile, and sometimes we need validating. Especially when we put so much of our heart and souls into the voices of Doctor Who monsters.
Yeah, I know. Fucking all this turning up that we do.
Yeah.
And vomiting into a microphone in the hope that some of it will be funny.
Exactly. But yes, thank you for listening if you made it this far. Join us on Sundays when we do our main show, The Shipping Forecast. Next up, we'll be talking about Avatar The Last Airbender. It will probably be very different to this, but I hope you enjoy it all the same. If you like the show, best way to support us, tell your friends, follow us on social media, do all the kind of boring things. Because it helps us out, helps us grow.
This is it. You can also donate to our Patreon, although, you know, it's entirely up to you if you do that. I understand times are tough and people are skint, so...
Exactly.
Yeah, do that, don't do that. We're just happy to have you along for the ride.
We don't expect anything, but if you do, you get to join our Discord server and hang out with us cool people. And you get access to episodes as soon as they're edited.
Yeah, so you get early access.
Instead of waiting for them to come out, yeah. Generally, that's a week in advance. Depends on our schedules. But yeah, thank you for listening, and speak to you soon.
Good night.
Had to do it once more.
Off.
Sorry.
I resign.
Fair.
I'm not doing this anymore.